Morning folks.
And welcome to another episode of Outside Normal. So we're up nice and early today and
Packed everything up.
But we're not really going anywhere. We're going to get weighed. So we're just on our way to meet the Travelling Weigh, and we'll take you along with us on this day and see how we go.
See how we go.
All
See
right.
how we end up.
Yeah. So we've just arrived here and met Cam and Angela from the Travelling Weigh, who are going to weigh our setup today. And we'll talk through everything as we go.
So they're just setting up the scales now. Then we'll drag the van up and do all sorts of stuff. Just watch this.
The idea with the max tracks, the level of the van plays a huge part, all right, in what your toe ball weight is, and then in turn your axle weights, your accurate axle weights. So what a lot of people don't realise is every 100 kilos you have of toe ball download on the back of your car from the van usually results in around about 150 kilos on your rear axle. Okay, it depends on distance from the centre up to the back and where that hill is. But the idea here is when we're going to be weighing you and get your axle capacities or axle weight numbers, you're going to be 60 mil off the ground on the plates. Yep. So we try and get the Caravan up 60 mil, same. Yep. So it's completely level. Because if the Caravan's like that, it's going to have a heavier ball and therefore have a heavier reading on your axle capacities. All right, or your axle weights. All right, just forward a smidgen. Touch more. That'll do you. Smell that clutch. Yeah. It's one of the reasons we try to put you in low range. Yep. Because we're not in low range, trust me, that makes a difference.
So it looks like Cameron's unhitching the Caravan now.
Yep, so we're doing two weighs here. So what we're weighing at the moment is the vehicle with the Caravan on and the Caravan off. So Cameron's just unhitching the van now. So we've been weighed for the vehicle. Once the Caravan's off, that will re-weigh, and that'll give us our rear axle load.
Oh, I wasn't filming unfortunately when Brenton was trying to get on the ramps. It was quite funny.
It was not.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
We'll reverse it back off. That's part one done. Now we do the van.
Awesome.
A little bit more. That'll do you. We'll switch her off for a bit if you like.
So step 2 is getting the Caravan weighed. Ooh. Yes, I am a little nervous.
Don't usually film, but you're back and forth on and off.
Oh, you did? Great. Oh, good, because I missed it.
I can give that to you if you like.
Great, I'll take it.
No, this isn't a boomerang. This is actually live.
Yeah. Awesome, good job.
This will be a lot easier, mate. All right, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. That's it. Stop, forward.
So just chocking up the Caravan wheels for safety, and the chocks can't sit on the red part of the scale.
Okay, so let's talk ball weight, all right? This is, in our opinion, the most important number we'll do today, all right? Why is that? Because it impacts so much in your overall weights, all right? So it is a compliance number on its own. You've got to be under a certain number.
Yep.
All right, in your case 350. It's included as part, and I'll go through this shortly when we go through what everything means in plain English, but it's part of your car weight, it's part of your caravan weight, calculated once, included in 2 numbers.
Yep.
All right. But more importantly, what a lot of people don't realise, as I touched on earlier, is every 100 kilos of your ball weight affects your rear axle significantly.
Yep.
150 kilos or thereabouts. So if you have a heavy ball, you could very much have a heavy car and a heavy rear axle just because of that.
Yep.
It's also the easiest number to manipulate and change. You go inside your caravan with 80 kilos of groceries, put it in a certain spot, that'll affect your ball.
Yep.
All right. You travel with and without water, usually the biggest weight in the van affects your ball, which is why we weigh today with and without water. So it's the easiest number to manipulate and change. That's the only one we've got to fix today. We'll be good. All right, so do you know what you're looking for in a ball weight?
Approximately 10% of the weight of the van.
Spot on. Well done. You've done some research.
I've done a little.
So that's the guide, around 10%.
Yep.
We say 9 to 11 in that range is fine. Why do we say that? Most vehicle manufacturers in Australia, Toyota's a classic, Land Cruiser, Hilux in their manuals, they refer to 9 to 11% as their recommended tow ball range for Australian conditions of their vehicles. So we tend to mimic that ourselves, all right? So your van, if it's fully loaded today and it's near its maximum of 3,000 kilos, we're looking for 270 to about 300 to 330, somewhere in that region, all right? Let's have a look where we're at.
Okay.
What do you reckon you might be?
I reckon we're probably
around 330.
No, I reckon we're on about 300.
I reckon you're around 270.
Oh.
275 maybe, something like that.
Okay.
Go over. I've done it before.
271, look at that.
Look at you, fancy pants.
I get to cheat though. There's a bit of a formula, you can work it out. Pretty close. So if we're around 3 tonne, that is absolutely actually spot on, right on about 9%.
Perfect.
So
we could carry 2 full gas
we'll
bottles
see.
on the front.
We'll go through all of that.
Yeah.
Yep. At the moment, if we're not over our ATM, which we'll go through shortly, absolutely. Because I mean that's a smidgen under 9% actually, not 8.9%. So you'd actually could benefit from
just
a
little
touch.
bit. Yeah.
But let's go through all that, because the other thing you really have to factor if you travel is water.
Yeah.
So depending on where your water is in your van,
Yeah.
that can obviously affect things as well, and which tanks you use first.
Yeah.
So we'll run through all that as well. All right, so have a guess what the number 1 question is that we get asked.
Number 1 question would be, how many are over?
Spot on, 100% correct. So we've been doing this now between our Darwin business and us on the road 2.5-ish years, close to 3 years. Well over 1,000, 1,500 ways around there. 91.8% of our clients are over.
Wow.
Now, admittedly, we haven't done hardly anything on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of travellers. And travellers tend to be heavier because they're carrying everything. So I think we've got colleagues back on the East Coast in Brisbane. They're more around the 70 to 75% is their number.
Still a high number.
Still very high, very high. But as I said, those travellers tend to take everything, including the kitchen sink, from home. They'll pack the pantry from home, stick everything in, even that pantry items they haven't used for a year. You know, so you never know, we might need this. You never know, we might need that. So it's
these are good. I've seen
these. We haven't even put this up on our socials yet. We've just literally got stock, and we are now very proud to be partnering with the Standard Squeeze. Pull one of those out, Brent. So these are awesome if you're a spirits drinker, which we are. Ange loves the body. I love my JD.
So you put your spirits in.
That's it.
And then you squeeze this like you do with toilet chemicals, anything like that. And it gives you a measure here. And then you just pour it out. And
they come in 5 different sizes, so we've got all of them on the road. So it's an absolutely awesome Aussie small business, father and son.
I have seen these before, and these are
They're
very
unreal.
good. If you're on the road, get rid of your bottles.
And whack them in. You can whack them in your fridge, your esky. You don't have to break. It's 600 grams per bottle is about your net saving in weight. So if you're carrying 4 or 5 bottles of spirits, you're talking 2.5, 3 kilos.
Winner.
All adds up.
Yep.
The second most popular question we get asked by clients, and just people in general at campsites or whatever all the time, is, so what's the biggest one that you've weighed that's been over? What's your biggest overweight number? So we've done a number of them, done a lot of them now that are way over. But have a guess what you think on a car, the car with the Caravan attached, but just the car GVM number on its own. All right, have a guess how far over you might think the biggest one is we've done.
I'm going to say 1,000.
A tonne? Yeah? What do you reckon?
I'd reckon 1,500.
Right in between.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
1260 is the biggest.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And that was actually a 79 series cruiser without any GVM upgrade.
Wow.
And he had over 3 tonne on his rear axle.
Wow.
So that was dangerous. I
Yes.
think, you know, those axles are not designed, and diffs are not designed to carry that sort of weight. So, and the same guy had a 400 kilo Caravan over as well. So it was 1.6 tonne over combined. So, but I've got to give credit where it's due. Hey, darling, he was also one of the best clients we had as well, because he was visibly shocked and upset.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we said, "What are you gonna do?" And he goes, "I shouldn't be on the road.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back into the caravan park and I'm going to find a truck." So he was really, really good about it, which is awesome to see. So, yeah.
Gosh. Are we ready to talk numbers?
Well, let me just put a few things together first.
Okay.
And we've got to check a couple of compliance things.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through the load summary. So one of the things we do is list down everything you have in your car and your caravan today.
Mm-hmm.
We find when we reweigh people on the road, they often can't recall. They might have been weighed before they left home, but they can't exactly recall what was in the car and the caravan on the time. It's easy to forget. So we list down your load on the day for you. So if you ever look back on the reports later, you'll know exactly what you had today when we weighed you. All right. 2875. Yep, good. Start with the car first. Obviously, you've got the 2 passengers, full tank of fuel.
Yep.
All right, what do we got? We got the bull bar and the winch, don't we?
Yep.
Okay. You got roof rack. You got, what do you got on there? Side awning, max tracks.
Yep.
Side awning. Max Track's only the 2 up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have any tools in the car other than the factory toolkit?
Yes.
I've got a small toolkit.
Yep.
And a torsion.
First thing we like to do is just to go through what everything means in plain English. All right, so you may well be familiar with a lot of these terms and acronyms already. If so, it's just a quick revision. If not, hopefully you'll pick up a thing or two. All right, so we'll start with the van first. Let's talk tear weight. All right. So tear weight is your empty dry weight of your van when it was manufactured by the manufacturer. All right, should be no water in tanks, should be no gas in bottles, should be with any options you ticked on your options list when you bought the van. All right. Now I said should 3 or 4 times there because there's no regulation in our caravan industry, unfortunately. So what one manufacturer does, what they include in tear weight, can be different to another one. Classic case are gas bottles. There are some manufacturers out there that don't include gas bottles at all, and there are some that include them empty. Some are really good and include them full. All right, mattresses are another, believe it or not. Some van manufacturers don't include mattresses in their caravans. It's ridiculous, but that's the case. So therefore you have to ask a lot of questions when you're either buying a new van as to exactly what's included, because I'll get to that in a moment, it affects your payload. Or if you're buying a second-hand van, again, you need to establish what was in that van initially when it was built.
Yeah.
What things have been added to it. If you added extra batteries or solar or boxes or stuff, all right, because that affects your payload as well. All right, so just something to be aware of. The other thing we recommend to clients with tear weight, if you're ever buying a new van, seriously consider having a clause in your contract. All right, and that clause states that they can be within 10 kilos of the nominated tear weight on the plate at the time of pickup. That keeps them honest, and that makes sure that they do everything that they're supposed to do that van and they get it weighed at the last minute. What used to happen a lot in COVID was because they were waiting on parts and demand and vans were rushed to get out the door, they would quite often weigh them and get the compliance plates before final accessories were added to the van, bike racks and the like. We've weighed a number of vans where that happened, and there was a material difference between the actual tear weight on the plate and what it actually was. All right, so be aware of that. The other thing, tip would be, for the sake of 150, 200 bucks, get the caravan weighed when you pick the van up. Then you'll know 100% how close that actual tear weight is. It's so important because of the next one on your list, which is aggregate trailer mass, ATM. Got a couple of meanings. From a compliance point of view, it means the maximum loaded weight this caravan can be with everything in it. Water in the tanks, gas in the bottles, any additional stuff you bolt to the van, and gear you put inside, all right? So your aggregate trailer mass, your maximum number, in your case is 3,000 kilos, according to the MDC, all right? And your tear weight is 2412 according to the plate. So if you take your tear, which is your empty, away from your ATM, which is your maximum, that gives you your payload. Very important number, 588 kilos in your caravan. For a 2-people van, single axle this size, it's actually not a bad payload. Another tip we recommend with every single client, if you're ever buying a van, you don't lust over it and look inside the van first until you go to that compliance plate. It's the first thing you should do on any caravan, and you should look for those 2 numbers and see what the payload is. And realistically, if it's not 600-700 kilos or more, forget it, because you just won't be compliant with full water and gas and everything you need. So yeah, free tip, don't lust over the van until you've looked at the plate numbers. All right, now we also today will refer to ATM as the weight of your van. So we'll be going, your ATM's this, your ATM's that, meaning the loaded weight, all right? Now what a lot of people don't realise is when you calculate your ATM, you've got to be disconnected from the car like we are today, all right? And it's the addition of 2 numbers. It's the addition of your GTM, which is what this black computer's calculating here, which is the weight that the van's imposing down through the axles onto the ground when it's hitched to the car. We are simulating it being hitched at the moment with the tow ball scale, all right? That's actually a compliance number on its own, and a lot of people aren't aware of that either. So on your compliance plate, your GTM number is 2767. So that computer here has to read less than 2767 for this to be compliant, okay? To that number, you then add your tow ball weight, all right, which is the weight the front of the van's imposing down onto the tow ball of the vehicle. As I said earlier, that's a compliance number as well, but you need to add them both together to get your overall weight of your caravan, all right? There's weight at the front and there's weight down at the axles, all right? That's what a lot of people get wrong when they go to a weigh bridge, all right? Can't just go to a weigh bridge, have the car on one, the van on the other, and think that's my weight. Yep. You've got to unhitch and get the tow ball weight and add that to your GTM. All right, so as you can see on the diagram, that part there is your GTM. Adding your tow ball adds up to your overall ATM weight. All right, any questions?
No, all good.
All right, that's the van. Flip her over. Let's go through the car. All right, so let's talk through the car now. All right, brake towing capacity, the maximum amount of weight that the cruiser is allowed to tow behind it, 3.5 tonne from factory for the Toyota. You've obviously your van's, providing we're not overloaded today, 3,000, so you're well within that. That should be good. Gross vehicle mass, GVM, maximum loaded weight the car's allowed to be with everything in it. People, fuel, accessories you bolt to the car, and gear you put inside, all right? Now you have had a GVM upgrade to the vehicle, which is great. So it was around the 3,300 kilos, I think, from memory. Yep. So what you've done is a very common thing with a lot of the troop carriers, where they've got high axle capacities, and you've essentially had a GVM upgrade up to the summation or the addition of those 2 numbers. Yep. So you're 3780. The reason we do that is the next one, which is GVM in combination. So the minute you're towing anything behind your cruiser, whether it be a caravan, a boat, trailer, horse float, whatever, we need to include that ball weight as part of the weight of the car. It's attached to the back, it's physically pushing the back of the car down, so that's weight to the vehicle, all right? That is what catches a lot of caravanners out, and one of the main reasons why you look at a GVM upgrade, all right? And obviously your axle capacity as well. All right, the last one, gross combination mass. So as you connect it up driving down the road as one unit, what's your combined weight of car and caravan combined, all right? Your GCM did not change with your GVM upgrade, so it's still factory, still 6,800 kilos, all right? Important to note there is your tow ball's only included once in your overall GCM, all right? So it's not included twice, which is a common misconception. All right, any questions?
Nope.
How about we look at some numbers, see where we're at.
That's what I want to look at.
All right, so here we go. Here's our, come on in, here's our 3-page report to start with. Page 1 of our report we refer to as our profile and data page. So we'll have all your personal details there. And then we go through as well all your caravan compliance details. We list there off your plate, so it's on the front page, nice and easy to see. We also summarise here in your load summary what gear you had in the van when we weighed you today. Same thing with your vehicle, so all your vehicle compliance numbers are there, including your upgraded GVM and all the gear. So all that's in the car there as well, with everything we had there today. All right, now drum roll, page 2, caravans. Ready?
Hang on, I've got to get in on this as well.
You
right.
do. All right, it looks pretty damn good to me.
Ah.
Here are your 3 compliances, okay? Tow ball, GTM and ATM. Here are the numbers in black that you need to be under, all right? In the middle, in blue, are your actual weights that we weighed you today, and your results are on the right-hand side.
Wowza.
So if you see a green negative number, it means you're under. And you have 3 ticks and 3 numbers. In fact, you're nicely under, really well under.
Oh my God!
And what's
Yeah,
even better is that you are really well balanced.
That number, yeah.
So you are 9.3% with full water and all your gear as a tow ball. You can't get much better than that. And from a side to side, you're only 29 kilos different side to side, which is minuscule. So I would imagine the van will tow very well at the moment. And it's really well balanced. So well done.
Thank
Done a great
you.
job.
I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I thought we'd be right on it for the caravan. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
I got to say, just going through things like coffee machines, air fryers, that sort of stuff you don't have.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised what difference that makes.
Yeah.
And you have put a few things, your ground mat,
Yeah.
that stuff's in the car, that makes a difference too.
Yeah.
So the minute you started to roll off to me what you did and didn't have,
Yeah.
I got more and more confident that you'd be well under. So
Great.
well done.
Awesome.
So you got room. Awesome. Right, so the next part we like to go through is what we call our caravan compliance and safety check.
Yep.
All right, so the few compliance things here not a lot of caravanners are aware of, so we like to go through them with you. The first one's an ADR relating to what's called rear overhang. All right, so essentially what we do here is we're measuring the stuff you have behind your caravan and how far behind your caravan it is, and making sure that it's legal. In a nutshell, you're measuring from the middle of your axles. So on a single, it's the middle of the hub. On dual, it's in between your 2 wheels. And you're measuring to your forward compartment. And if that is less than 3.7 metres, which yours is around about 2.85, then that measurement is the basis for your rear overhang. If you're greater than 3.7 metres is the basis to your rear overhang calculation. So yours is 2.85. So we then flip the tape measure around, as Andrew and I were doing, and we're measuring from that spot back, and your furthest thing behind your caravan can't exceed 2.85 metres. You're well within that, at 400 mil inside that, so you don't have an issue. Just be aware if you ever do want to, I don't know, throw bikes on or something along those lines, those handlebars and whatnot have got to be within that specification.
Space,
That's an actual ADR, so it's something that the authorities do look at. So do not overtake turning vehicle sticker here. You don't have one on. First thing to note is they aren't compulsory. You don't have to have them. All right, that's why the vast majority of caravans come out without one from the manufacturer. Why do people have them? At the end of the day, it's a bit of a safety protection thing. If your combined length of car and caravan's over 7.5 metres in length, which you guys are combined, then if you momentarily need to traverse another lane, either a roundabout or turning in and out of a property or whatnot, then with one of these stickers on, you are momentarily allowed to do that and you have right of way. So if someone scoots up the inside and hits you or something along those lines, they're at fault, not you. If you don't have one on, then if that same circumstance, you technically could be at risk rather than the other person. So there are, what's interesting is there's a couple of different types of stickers on the market. You've got your cheapos you can get online, which aren't compliant with the Australian standard. There's an Australian standard in relation to this. So they have to have the Australian standard printed on them. They need to have who manufactures the sign. They need to have the class that it relates to and be reflective. So we have these if you would like one. There's also specific rules around where this must be on your caravan. You may see some caravanners with multiple stickers on the back of their vans. That's actually against the Australian standard. You're only supposed to have one sticker on the left side in a certain spot. So I'll run through that with you if you would like one. Let's focus just quickly on number plates. This is a huge focus. and something that a lot of older caravans run foul of now under these new rules. So all number plates can be no more, and the reason this is such a big focus is speed cameras. All right, so the number plate can't be more than 1.3 meters off the ground. Tick, you're good in that regard. This is the one that catches most people though. It must be fully visible from 20 meters away at a 45-degree angle in every angle. So be very careful. If you're good, you're on no problem there. You're at the back on your spare wheel. Again, a lot of people run foul because they're putting jerry can holders, they're putting bikes, they're putting stuff on bags, all this sort of stuff on the back of the van and impeding that
view from a certain angle.
From a speed camera point of view. That's the main focus of these rules. All right, so just be aware of that. This one's not an issue. If you ever buy another van, just have that up your sleeve. One of the things we also like to check is your hitch that's securely mounted. You'd be very surprised the number of people that have a loose tow ball hitch nut underneath. Drum roll. I reckon we're going to be really good here. All right, so let's have a look at the car where we're at. Now we like to go through the car on its own first without the caravan on, and then have a look at all the numbers with the van on the back. The reason we do this is a lot of cars actually go over their front axle capacity without the caravan on because of bull bars and winches and lights and blah blah blah.
That's what we're worried about.
So let's have a look. All right, so I see nothing but green again. And you're actually pretty good. You're actually 70 kilos, 69 kilos under your front axle capacity as is. So obviously you're a massive 650 kilos. This is without the van on, under the rear. All right, so that's good. If we have room, which we'll find out in a minute, we put a little bit more stuff in the back, obviously that's going to lighten the front a touch as well. So so quite a good position to be in. Let's have a look with the caravan on. All right, because obviously that ball weight's going to get added to the GVM and to the rear axle 1 and a bit times. And we're all green there too. Look at that.
I can't believe this.
All right, so, and that's again, I said earlier, I'm not too worried about the car. And this is the right car because you've got a good rear axle, 2,300 kilos on this factory. So you can see here, in particular, if I go right to the bottom, you've still got 247 kilos under your rear axle. So that means you can definitely put some more gear in there if you want to, some infrastructure, some drawers. You know, at the end of the day, you're in a really enviable position where you've got lots of options and choices there. So well under your GVM, your upgraded GVM. You could see here that without the upgrade, as you sit here now, you'd actually be 31 kilos over your factory GVM.
Yeah, wow.
So you're well under now by increasing that up to your axle addition amounts. Well under your GCM because you've got the right size van, you don't have a 3.5 ton caravan, and nicely under your front and rear axles with the van on. So you guys are one out of 11 that I weigh that are all green. Well done.
Thanking you.
Awesome.
Well done.
Thank
Great.
you.
What I'd like to do with you now is we'll just simulate a few potential changes you're going to make or add to the van. We'll just run through that and just see where we're at from a ball weight. And then we'll have a look at the water. If you're keen to, we'll drop the water and see what that does to your ball weight as well.
So we've just filled up the 20 litre water jerry on the front to stimulate
a little bit
of extra weight on the tow bar.
Particularly the tow ball weight.
Yeah, so Cameron's just doing a little bit of a print out on it.
Variation.
Yeah.
So one of the things we like to do is just go through what the variations are to your van and what the impact is. Okay, so we've added that 20 litres of water to the front to simulate your extra gas in the bottle and a bit more diesel, because you had half the diesel full, so we've simulated filling that. So our ball weight now, we were 9.3 and we're now 9.8% on the front.
Okay.
So absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. And from a side to side, I'd imagine you're better because we've added that weight to the other side. Look at it, you're within 10 kilos.
Yeah.
So I'd be actually filling your gas bottle.
Yep.
And travelling with
2 full gas.
Cool.
Anything else you'd like to know from a balance or additional side of things?
I think because we did the research first place. We kind of, and even when we packed the van, that's what we were doing. We were, okay, we can't take that, or we need to change that for something else. Well,
this is sort of indication for what you've done that it's all on the money. Really, really good.
So we've also established that our hitch height can go up 1 setting from where it's sitting to have the van
just a little bit more level.
Yeah.
And so on a single axle caravan, that affects your ball weight. So on a single axle it lightens the tow ball when we raise that hitch height up. So we've just checked it with a digital level, and we could definitely do with one hole being raised in your hitch. So we just simulated that on the tow ball scale, and it's had a minimal effect, but an effect, 6 to 7 kilos roughly on the ball. So
yeah, great.
Still well within our range, no issue, but you'll find that that'll just level the van out and just help from a towing perspective.
Cameron has heaps of stuff. He doesn't just weigh you and give you good advice, but they have some really good loot that you can buy as well. So he's talked us, didn't take too much convincing, into getting one of these
Yeah, the Boss Jockey wheels.
Boss Jockey
One
wheels.
of these, great Aussie product, absolutely fantastic, lightweight, obviously drill operated, so really easy, and a fantastically designed pivoted base plate on the bottom, so really good product.
So we're super stoked about utilising that, and he's also got some iCheck TPMS gear. So we do have some already, but we're ordering an upgrade so that we can have a quicker changeover and be much more efficient there.
That's it, and also tap into the new hub sensors that come with it as well.
Yeah.
So another great Aussie company based here in Australia, in Melbourne, and really good gear.
Yeah. So overall, for us, it's been a fantastic experience.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Brenton.
Thank
Good on
you.
you, mate. No worries at all, and safe travels, guys.
We've had a really good experience getting our setup weighed. We were very happy that we were underweight on everything, and just the peace of mind for us knowing that we are underweight, we're legal, we're safe,
Fully comply, we're safe, and we have room up our sleeve. We're not just on the borderline, we do have room up our sleeve.
And one really good thing that Cam did was gave us suggestions on what we can do going forward. We talked about, wanting to add a generator to our kit so that we can run the air conditioner when we're off grid. So he's given us some ideas
of
for
where we can
hold
that, what we can do there.
And what we can do to finish off with the troopy. We still need to do solar and inverter and a fridge slide and drawers
and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so it was really good hashing those out and working out where we can go with that.
Yep.
So absolutely, if you've been thinking about getting your caravan and tow vehicle weighed, I would absolutely do it.
Don't think about it, just do it.
Just do it. And yeah, it is cheaper to just get it weighed, but to be with someone like Cam, the Travelling Weigh, who can give you options
and works through everything with you.
Work out different scenarios with you.
Like we emptied our water tanks, we added water, we did a whole range of things to see where the balance was to make sure we're okay. Yep.
Even if you are over, they can talk through solutions and make it work for you.
Yep.
For me personally, having that peace of mind, knowing that we're okay, was 100% worth it. So thanks, Travelling Weigh. Cam
guys.
And Ange, you
Thanks,
guys
Cam.
are awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you
Ange.
for spending so much time with us today. And yeah, don't think about it, just do it. So we'll see you on the next episode, the next adventure, wherever we are. Take care. See you next time.
See ya.